Hello friends, we are here checking on the worms. I feel like it's been too long. I know it hasn't, but I've been thinking about our worms and the upcoming colder weather, and I was thinking about how we just put all this coconut coir in here, but we also have a ton of worms in here because we bought the worms, so we know that there's a bunch in here, and we know that usually the food goes pretty quick. And I was thinking about trying something we hadn't tried in a very long time, like probably since, well, at least we were in Florida, so at least a couple years now. But I wanted to try something different, and that is going to be, we are going to feed the worms today, but we are not going to previously freeze the food. And normally we were freezing the food because it helped keep the bugs down, the ones that were, frozen or laying eggs on the banana peels or the plums or the tomatoes, whatever. But we don't really have too much of an issue here, and I'm thinking, we're in the basement. There's a ton of spiders here. Even if there is a fly problem or a bug or gnat or something, the spiders are going to take care of it for us. So I want to move a lot of this top coconut coir that we just added off to the side. You'll see why. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this corner here is where we fed them last time, and there are some worms still here in the area. I can see. I don't want to move them too much, but there's a small little worm ball right here, which is exciting. But there's not really any food. It's just the remnants, pretty much at this point. So here's my plan for this time. We're eating a lot of bananas these days, it feels like. So I thought banana peels are probably a good test. And what I want to do is spread them out over the whole bin, like a whole layer. There's a few raspberries because, well, they just didn't make it. But they were cheap at the store, so we had to try. So these haven't been frozen. They've just been sitting on the counter, kind of naturally dehydrating. And I thought, let's just make them a nice little feast across the bin, so that way they don't have to necessarily congregate in one area and all of them can feast, because I think they're going through their food pretty quickly. But you're probably looking at this like, oh my gosh, Alessandra, we can't leave this open. And you're right, we're not going to. We still have plenty of shredded paper that we used from our move. All right, so that's about 1 bag's worth, and obviously this is dry, but I'm gonna spread this about here. And that's why we wanted the coconut coir off to the side, because then we can add some of that back across the top. And just, I think that will help with the moisture levels. Not all the way, but a little bit. And because I know that I just added a ton of dry paper in here, we're going to add some water, and of course, only a little bit at a time. So we're just going to, a little bit here, a little bit there. I don't want us to flood them like last time, and I suspect because this is so dry, it's probably just going to drip right through, but I'm hoping it'll wick back up with all the other content in here. I think that's a good start, don't you? So even though we just put a ton of fresh food in there, it's all covered up because we have paper, we have the coconut coir. We're going to also add this piece that we've been adding recently. So now I'm kind of curious, because this is a lot more food than what we've been giving the worms lately, how long it takes them to burn through this. It's dried, drying banana peel, so they don't have the high moisture content that, maybe a fresh one would. So will it take a week or two? I don't know, but I'm just curious to see if this is something we can feed them more often, because I don't want them to be hungry. I don't want them to have a long window where there's no food in the bin. So I could feed them more frequently, but I'm kind of wondering, what if we just give them bigger feedings and keep the same time between feedings, which is usually about 2 weeks or so, depending on life at this point. So we'll check back here in a few weeks on them, see how they're doing, see how the food is breaking down, make sure there's no bugs that we don't want in here. But in the meantime, thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm Alessandra. You guys probably can't see, but Wally's over here hanging out with us. The wormies are going to be good this holiday season. I hope you're having a great start to your holiday season. Let me know how your worms are doing down below. See you guys soon.